Okay, remember yesterday I was talking about satanic ritual abuse victims. And remember the core, this is the real self, and you get fragmented, you're fragmented, you have to get them to come back to the core, get them to come to Jesus, they come back to the core. Now I'm going to explain a little bit better about the different rooms. So when a person is fragmented, they have the other personalities. Remember, like here, like I explained yesterday. If you haven't watched that video, go back, Understanding SRA and DID. So then when that personality is there, it can take over anytime. Thus, dissociative identity disorder. That personality can take over the main core. But also, inside of the human mind, there's different rooms. I mean, you could have a whole castle. You could have a whole castle inside of the human mind. You have different rooms. You might have staircases, you might have elevators. It's very complex. So that personality might be trapped in a room. It might be chained down. The demons might chain it down. They can still come up and talk, but they're actually in a room inside of the mind. Now the demons will maybe put one demon on the staircase so it can't fully come out, but it can still talk. And there's different chambers. There might be torture chambers inside of the castle. So when the identity is bad, or it tries to come to Christ, the demons will just go after that one personality that's trying to come to Christ. It could be in a room. It could be in the basement down here. It could be in the attic up here, the DID. And then you could have a stairwell, and then the demons are guarding it. So you have a demon here guarding it. So it can't really get out. It can't really do much. It's being tormented by these demons all the time. Now, with the DID, remember yesterday we talked about, say, Joe witnessed a murder, like at 3 years old, and that person became another personality. You kept the same name, the same age, and you keep growing. Well, now this Joe person, he might be locked in a room, and he's got demons of trauma surrounding him, demons of fear of man surrounding him. This whole network of demons is hindering him from coming to Christ. And thus you have the core, which is the real you. It can't fully surrender to Christ. So it's very hard for an SRA victim to totally come to Christ because their fragmented soul is so fragmented. Now, there are satanic ritual abuse victims or super soldiers too. So what the Satanists will do, they'll torture that person and cause all kinds of fragmented souls, parts of their different parts of the human. And they'll train that part. So they'll train it, they'll train that part like in explosives, or they'll train that part in, sharpshooting. And then that person will be trained in one area, that person will be trained in one area. These are called super soldiers, Satan's army. Russ Dizdar did a very good book on this called The Black Awakening. Now these super soldiers, you have the core. They don't even know about these super soldiers. these split personalities that might be experienced in explosives, high explosives, or sharpshooting, or nunchucks, or jiu-jitsu, or karate. Now, in the end times, according to Russ Dizdar, these super soldiers, they're all over. There could be 100,000 of them in America. They could be all over the world. At a flip of a switch, maybe a phone call or some kind of, switch, they're going to activate that person, and they're going to wreak havoc, chaos, order out of chaos. Now, these super soldiers are all over the world. And inside of every super soldier, you have a castle or a big house with a lot of rooms. And they're being tormented all the time. And it's not that person's fault. So the more I learn about this stuff, the more I want to help the SRA victims. And according to Russ Dizdar, in the end days, these super soldiers are going to wake up at a switch, maybe a phone call or whatever, I don't know how. And they're going to wreak havoc. Maybe they'll kill Christians, I don't know. But I think Russ Dizdar was onto something. But that's how that operates. So remember, when you're talking to that person stuck in that room, ask God to send angels to take his shackles off and to remove any spirits around that identity. And then you can talk to that identity, have them come to Christ, come to the cross. That's very important. And when they come to the cross, you get them to come back to the core. So this is just what I know about the DID or the SRA. And most deliverance ministers, they don't want to learn all this stuff because it's too complicated. Now, I'm trying to make these videos as easy to understand as you can. Now, these people are very fragile. They are so fragile. They're very hard to work with. They have a lot of feelings. They get hurt very easy because they have so much trauma around every victim. They have so much trauma and darkness around every victim that they're very easily hurt. It's almost like you have to walk on eggshells around them. But they can be helped. And if you're in deliverance and you want to help these people, like I said, do some research. Them that believe up in Canada. Watch some of his videos. They're very, very, very long, like 2 hours long, maybe 2.5 hours long. But he works with these people and he puts the videos on YouTube for learning. So then you can help people, because it's not just about casting out demons. Remember, like I said yesterday, you can't cast a character out. You can't cast the dissociative identity disorder out. You can only get them to come to Christ and bring that person into one core. They can give all their life to Christ. Okay, I hope that this video helps you out with the castles, understanding the castles and how they operate. There's a whole network. There could be a galaxy. There's a whole network inside of that human being, inside of their paradigm, inside of their mind. And they need to be free. And yes, it takes months, maybe even years. But if you're patient and if you're teachable, God will use you in a big way. And I'm praying that God will bring more SRA victims my way. That way I can learn more and I can set these people free. You got to have a heart for people. You got to have a heart for souls. A lot of people say, I want to wait till I'm free before I help other people. You're never going to be totally free, my friend. Start helping people now.